We've all been there. You hit a personal best on Monday, you feel a little tight on Tuesday, but then Wednesday morning arrives, and you can barely roll out of bed. Your quads feel like they've been replaced by concrete, and your calves are screaming at the mere suggestion of a staircase. It's called DOMS, Delayed Onset Muscle Soreness. Welcome to Dr. Levitas. For decades, the fitness world has told you the same story: your muscles ache because of micro-tears. They tell you that you've shredded your fibers and the pain is just the sound of them growing back. While that's partially true, it doesn't explain why the pain often peaks 48 hours later, or why the ache feels like a deep, heavy pressure rather than a sharp tear. The viral truth is that your muscles aren't just torn, they're physically congested. You aren't just dealing with structural damage. You're dealing with a massive biological traffic jam of cellular garbage that your body is struggling to flush out. Today, we are exploring the most neglected system in the human body. We are going to look at the sewer system of your anatomy and explain why your recovery depends entirely on a process called the lymphatic flush. Please take a second to like the video and leave a comment. Your engagement is a huge help to the channel. To understand why you ache, we first have to identify the lymphatic system. Most of us understand our circulatory system. The heart pumps blood through arteries to deliver oxygen. But the lymphatic system is the silent partner. It is a vast network of vessels and nodes that acts as the body's waste disposal service. Its job is to collect excess fluid, dead white blood cells, and the metabolic trash created by your cells, and carry it away to be filtered and neutralized. But here is the biological catch: unlike your blood, which has a heart to pump it, your lymph fluid has no pump. It is a passive system. It relies entirely on external pressure and the contraction of your skeletal muscles to move. When you move your muscles, you are physically squeezing the lymphatic vessels, pushing the waste toward the exit. If you stop moving, the sewer system stops flowing. When you perform an intense workout, you aren't just creating micro-tears. You are creating a massive amount of metabolic debris. As your body rushes to repair those tears, it sends in white blood cells and creates localized inflammation. This process generates cellular garbage, broken proteins, dead cells, and inflammatory fluids. In a healthy recovery, this waste is picked up by the lymphatic vessels and cleared away. But after a truly grueling session, the volume of waste is so high that it creates a traffic jam inside the muscle belly. The fluid accumulates, creating interstitial pressure. This pressure pushes against your pain receptors, creating that dull, heavy, throbbing ache we associate with DOMS. Your muscle is literally swollen from the inside out with its own trash. This brings us to the biggest mistake people make when they are sore: they sit on the couch. It feels intuitive. You're in pain, so you want to be still. But remember, your lymph fluid only moves when your muscles contract. When you sit still for hours the day after a heavy leg day, you are essentially turning off the waste disposal system. The cellular garbage stagnates. The inflammatory fluids pool around the muscle fibers, and the traffic jam hardens. This is why you feel significantly stiffer after a long car ride or a day at your desk when you're sore. Sitting on the couch doesn't facilitate recovery. It guarantees that the soreness will last longer and feel more intense. To clear the ache, you have to turn the pump back on. If you want to clear that waste at record speed, you need to look at a tool that many people dismiss as a backyard toy: the mini trampoline, or the rebounder. In the world of lymphatic health, rebounding is considered the gold standard exercise. Why? Because of the unique physics of G-force. When you jump on a trampoline, your body experiences an increase in G-force at the bottom of the bounce and a moment of weightlessness at the top. This vertical pumping action acts like a vacuum for your lymphatic system. It forces the one-way valves in your lymphatic vessels to open and close simultaneously throughout your entire body. Just 5 to 10 minutes of light, low-impact rebounding can increase your lymph flow by up to 15 to 20 times its normal rate. You are quite literally vacuuming the metabolic waste out of your sore muscles and pushing it back into circulation to be cleared. This is also the exact scientific reason why elite athletes are obsessed with compression garments. Compression gear, whether it's socks, sleeves, or full bodysuits, isn't just a fashion statement. It provides graduated pressure, which is tightest at the extremities and gradually loosens as it moves toward the heart. By applying this external pressure, the garment acts as an artificial muscle contraction. It keeps the lymphatic vessels slightly squeezed, preventing fluid from pooling in the muscle belly. It ensures that even when you are standing still, there is a mechanical force helping to move the cellular garbage along. Clinical studies have shown that wearing compression gear for 24 hours post-workout significantly reduces the duration and intensity of DOMS by preventing that internal traffic jam from ever forming. But what if you don't have a trampoline or a compression suit? You can manually pump your lymphatic system using nothing but your shower. Contrast showers, switching between hot and cold water, are a classic recovery staple for a very specific reason. When you hit your body with hot water, your blood and lymph vessels dilate. This is called vasodilation. When you switch to ice-cold water, they instantly constrict, also known as vasoconstriction. By switching back and forth every 30 to 60 seconds, you're creating a vascular pump. You're manually opening and closing the valves of your lymphatic system. This rhythmic squeezing flushes the metabolic waste out of the inflamed muscle tissue and brings in fresh, nutrient-rich blood to support the repair. It is the most effective way to manually clear the ache without having to move a muscle. Finally, we have to look at the master pump of the entire system. Most people assume the muscles in their legs move the most lymph, but the central engine of the lymphatic flush is actually located in your chest. It is your diaphragm. The largest lymphatic vessel in the body is the thoracic duct. It runs right through the center of your chest, and it carries the vast majority of the body's lymph fluid. This duct is physically squeezed every time you take a deep, diaphragmatic breath. When you take shallow chest breaths, which most of us do when we are stressed or in pain, the thoracic duct never gets fully squeezed. But when you practice deep belly breathing, your diaphragm drops down, creating a massive pressure change that acts as a suction pump for the entire lymphatic system. Deep, rhythmic breathing during your recovery days is not just relaxation. It is the biological trigger that pulls the waste out of your lower extremities and moves it toward the exit. If you want to clear the ache days later, you have to breathe as intentionally as you lift. Here is the doctor's verdict: stop sitting still. Your body is an incredibly efficient machine, but it cannot clean up the mess of a heavy workout if the sewer system is backed up. The ache you feel 48 hours later is a signal that the traffic jam of cellular waste has become too much for your body to handle. By understanding the passive nature of the lymphatic system, you can take control of your recovery. Stop sitting on the couch and start moving. Use the power of rebounding, compression, contrast therapy, and deep breathing to flush the trash and heal the tissue. Recovery is not a passive event, it is an active flush. Stay mobile, keep the system flowing, and I will see you in the next video. Watch this video suggestion, it was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.